All right, so we're back. All right, you remember what you were talking about?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Again, so at this point, am bombarded with all the stuff that I'm learning.
Mm-hmm.
Bombarded with the spiritual connection between my ancestors, and I'm trying to figure out how this all is shaped and how this is going to work and how I'm going to change in the midst of all of this. And at the same time, we're bordering this world where we have these needs, right?
Yes.
So we have these needs. We take care of our family, we take care of ourselves physically. And all
What were you
stuff.
saying? What were you saying?
So we're at this place where I'm battling. But I started getting more comfortable on the spiritual side of this,
yes,
rather than trying to create a balance here on earth. And when you begin to see this, and you begin to see the world differently, because all the people that say they have the control actually don't have control.
They really don't.
They only have control when you feed into their system.
Have you ever read the book, The Great Chessboard?
Yes. 100%. Oh my God.
I haven't read it yet. I haven't read it yet. I have read bits and pieces of it, of what I can find without actually purchasing it.
Right.
But I'm about to purchase it because I've also seen videos of it to where they talk about some stuff and it comes from The Great Chessboard. And I was like, oh shit. Like, for example, have you heard of The Great Chessboard? Okay, so in that they talk about it, like, I'll send you some videos. I'll send you the links to some videos that it's on TikTok. A dude actually made animation of it. Mm-hmm. And one guy is over here talking about why is it that this and this and this is going on, where you have all these political issues and everybody thinks that everybody's over here just doing what they're told to do, and you have another dude who's like, well, yes, of course everybody's going to do what they're told to do, but that's how the game is being played. And then he's like you have the players, you have the people who are making the rules. Right. He was like, so the people who are making the rules are constantly going to make sure that the players are doing what is supposed to be done. Right. And then at one point in the switching, they're like, what do you have to say to it? You being extra quiet. And this other guy comes through. He's like, well, I mean, I have really nothing to say because y'all both are right, but you both are dead wrong. He was like, because you have the players and you have those who make the rules. He's like, but at the same time, who's the one who made the game? So the people who made the rules to the game are not the ones who actually made the game. So while y'all are sitting here thinking that you are running things, y'all are really under our control. So therefore, the ones who are actually playing the game under the rules of the rule maker don't really even understand. So both of y'all are in the wrong, because no matter what y'all try and change, you're never changing anything, because people who created the game already thought of what y'all are going to do. So therefore, you're never in control. Right. And I was just like, oh! and yeah, bro, I'm gonna send you the links. You're gonna be like, yes, very accurate. And the crazy thing is you plan on going into the military. And this is one of the things that they hated me for in the military, because all the officers loved me because what I said made sense. Staff NCOs hated me because I was challenging the way that they were always doing things, because the way that they were doing things is how they've always been doing it. They don't want to change because it's always works for them. Yeah. Comfort. Yes. Comfort. And the officers were like, okay, cool, it makes sense. But at the same time, you'll learn in the military, if it makes sense, it's wrong. And once I got out the military, I started understanding what that meant. If it makes sense, it's wrong. Okay. The way that I think, it makes sense, but it's going to be wrong to everybody else, because they are been taught to do things a certain way, which is crazy, because when you first join the military, they teach you a way to do everything, but then they tell you, they're like, forget everything that you have just learned, because when you hit the fleet, you're going to learn a different way, depending on where you're going. Because things are different wherever you are, because it works for wherever you are, how they do things, and what the climate and the demographic is of where you are. So if you're in Japan, they're not going to do things the same way that they do in the Junes.
Changing variables.
Exactly. And I was just like, well, damn. So if it makes sense, it's wrong. Yeah. Right. And being out of the military, like even with like my wife, I'm like, I'm doing things. I'm constantly in the future. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, all right, the kids are going to have to get a diaper in the morning. Same time, if I wake them up at this time, then I'll put them on a schedule for this time. And therefore, everything will be good. So that way I know by 8 o'clock, everything's good. So by that time, I'll be gone so she can go ahead and do breakfast. But the variable that I missed is if she doesn't wake up at 8 o'clock, everything's fucked up. So I'm like, in my mind, it makes sense, but it's wrong, because for her, she's thinking like, okay, well, at 8 o'clock, now I have to get up. But at the same time, you're not thinking about what did I do the night before? How much sleep did I get? So now it's like you're doing all this stuff, putting them on a schedule, but at the same time, it's hindering me because you don't know what I have done and what I have to deal with. So in my mind, for me, I'm like, it makes sense, but it's wrong because for her, it's wrong. Because
they've rebranded the natural order of things. That's all they've done. They've rebranded what they call the natural order of things.
Yeah.
But your body tells you what the natural order of things is. So our battle is not necessarily with what their system is. Our battle is with our own body. Because our body's saying, no, don't do that. There's the body saying, no, don't do that. Because this is what you're supposed to be doing. But you ignore it because you're seeing what they say your needs are. You see what I'm saying? So I had to literally get out of that way because my goal and the goal of the people around me was to get to a place where we didn't need them at all, period. And just to step out of their system of things. And the hard part is, because the system is set up the way it is, they will come at you like 25 rabid pit bulls to make sure you're not showing something that's actually going to work for people to begin to do it that specific way, for people to begin to follow their instinct. Where our instinct is falsely manufactured by them, and they want to make sure when they look in your eyes, oh yeah, he's still there.
Taught, more like
they ain't got to worry about
it.
Exactly.
Lawrence said taught, more like programming.
Exactly. Yeah. There you go. That's what it is.
Yo, big up
the sheep in the crowd.
Exactly. That's what's up. Right.
They just want you to be
I like that. I like that response, Lawrence. But nah, like perfect example. We're living in an era where everything is oil based. 100%. I'm like, plastic is made via oil. Yes, I'm like, gas is made via oil. I'm like, they try and say that oil is running out. Motherfucker, Mother Kai, aka Earth, creates oil. That's like literally the blood in our veins. We can go ahead and give blood, but then we're gonna replenish that blood, correct? Just like with the Earth, it replenishes that oil. But yet, at the same time, why is it that people who are creating vehicles that run off of electricity, pure electricity, off of the actual electric waves in the air, or either creating hydrogen dioxide engines, are vanishing?
But see, this is the thing.
Why are they dying? Because they don't want things to change.
Right.
Either it has to change when they want it to change because it has to go in a certain process. It can't just go drop dead like that. Because if you think about it, the first electric vehicle was made back in the 60s. They destroyed them bitches. And even so, the first hydrogen, the first water vehicle was made back in the 40s. Before the first electric vehicle, they literally exploded. And literally what the oil company said was, we cannot allow you to do this anymore. But there was no documentation to actually prove that the oil companies were the ones that made the vehicles explode. Yeah. That demolished the vehicles. I mean, it's ridiculous. And even with the electric vehicles that were pushed out, they were made to come back to get destroyed. I think it was like 40 or 60 vehicles that were actually manufactured, and they had to be recalled, and they got destroyed because of the fact that oil was a necessity, and oil was making so much money. So if you were to cut that off, now all these other companies, which are run by only a certain percentage, I think it's 4 major families, that are running everything. I'm not going to say names.
Actually, 13
okay.
13 major
I'm not going to say names, but you can look up to see who runs the medias, the news. You can look up to see who runs the social media. You can look up to see who runs the oil companies. I'm like, and all the families are going to be the same. And even so, Rothschilds back in the day, because I'm not going to say who they are right now, which everybody knows because they just actually had their castle overrun, I think, in the UK. There's look it up, bro. Ooh, I don't stay on American current events. My guy. When I tell you, all right, so you remember for a long time and telling you, I was like, yo, I feel like I'm too good for this world. And people were like, oh, you can see it. I'm like, no, let me explain. Not like I'm too good as in like, look, fuck you type shit. I'm like, the way that I am, I operate off of love. I operate off of respect and loyalty. I was like, I am too good for this world because we're living in a world that's very toxic, a world that is that toxic people are being elevated, and the more evil you are, the higher you're going to go, and the more kind-hearted and genuine and loving that you are, you're going to be looked down upon. I mean, hence
looked over.
Exactly.
Simply just looked over.
Exactly, and I mean, the first thing you said, simply, let's go ahead and take the plea off. What did that word? simp.
Simps.
And that's how they're trying to. That's how they're trying to categorize us now. Because you care, you're a simp.
This is true.
I'm like, bro, but in all honesty, you're just simply mad at the fact that we're not trying to destroy people. No, I was looking because he was talking. All of a sudden, he had a battery pack in his mouth. I was like, what the fuck?
Okay, here we go. I'm engaged, man. That's right.
I know. I was like, all I saw was the blue light. I was like, you got a pacifier? My God, what the hell is that? You fucking boss baby over here. But nah, I was just like, yo, that is wild.
But it's a mind trip, and to come out of the mind trip and begin to trust yourself. Mm-hmm. That is the biggest thing.
Yes.
Because when we start battling with the indoctrination that we have in our head, we don't trust ourselves because we've been fed into by so many different people and told so many different things that our voice in our head has been silenced. Yes. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So when it comes out, it's like, you start battling this voice.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yes. And I think that's the biggest thing. Like, a lot of people, even if they're not doing shadow work, there's a lot of people who have that intuition. Because, I mean, we all have that intuition. But the thing is nobody teaches you what the intuition is. And there's a question I always pose to people. I'm like, when you have, as us being men, and for ladies, I can put it as in for, anytime that I say woman, think of it as a man, unless, I mean, you like women too. And if so, come talk with us. Okay, me. And him.
Stick on track. Stay on track.
But nah, true talking no lie. I'm like, anytime that I lost it.
See, I do it. I do it, bro.
I'm sorry, I'm thinking about girls kissing girls right now. All right, anyway. What was I talking about? Shadow work. Oh yeah. So anytime that you end up hearing, anytime that you have an intuition, nobody teaches you exactly what it feels like. And I have a question I always pose to people. I'm like, when you have 3 women or 3 dudes walk into a room and you're drawn to one, I'm like, everybody thinks that you're automatically attracted to that person because they catch your eye. I'm like, now think about it. Humans, beings, we all have this fight or flight. Our body knows when the fuck we need to run. I was like, but nobody teaches us what that feeling feels like, because you can't really teach a feeling to an individual because it's going to be different to everybody. Yeah. So what if that one person you're drawn to and you feel the hair stand up on your arms and on your neck and everything, and you think that's attraction, like, oh shit, I'm really drawn to this person, I'm really attracted. What if that's not really attraction? What if your whole body telling you to get the fuck away from the person, stay the fuck away from them? Because if you think about it, how many times have you run across somebody that you feel you're really drawn to, that you really like, and oh my God, I'm really attracted to this person, and they fuck your shit up?
Listen, consider this.
Intuition.
There's a book that I'm working on called When Gods Meet. When Gods Meet. Let's think about what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, it's funny.
When Gods Meet.
Right when you said that, because I had actually called my homegirl, Hafiza, earlier today, and I called her and she answered. I was like, look, are you receptive of what I want to say? Because I got to say a couple things just to make sure that you understand the message I'm about to send you. And she was like, yeah. I was like, all right, cool. I was like, I got a couple questions for you. She was like, yeah. I was like, do you bring life into this world? She was like, yeah. I was like, anything that you say you're going to do, does it happen? She was like, yeah, for the most part. I was like, all right, cool. I was like, when you say or do something, I was like, does it bring happiness or impact other people's reality? She was like, yeah. I was like, all right, cool. You're a fucking divine God. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish my statement. And she was like, okay. I was like, you are a divine God. Everything that you fucking touch is going to manifest into something great. Everything that you fucking say is going to happen. I was like, no matter what is happening in your life right now, remember that you have control over that. I was like, and you have the capacity, you have the mentality, you have the strength and power to turn it around to make it do whatever the fuck it is you wanted to do. And she was like, oh shit.
Let me play.
So when you just said God, I was like, I know where you coming from. In my mindset.
Let me play devil's advocate for you for just a minute.
Do it.
What up, it's your boy Westside Jones. Be sure to check out my podcast, Vibes of Westside, Tuesdays at 2 o'clock. Also, be sure to check out some of my music on all streaming platforms. Westside Jones is WESSYDEJONES. Get familiar. Yeah.
What if
because I feel like we're going down to the time.
There you go. So what if that person
We went to the real Garden of Eden by just so you know when Adamu and Lilith was in the play.
That's it. So when you come, what if that person's coming to wreck everything that you believe is right in your life and to show you who you actually are?
But you know what's crazy? Lucifer, didn't they say that he was as brilliant and as smart as God?
Yes.
Didn't they say that he was one of the only people that can compare and compete with God?
He was a musical genius.
Now, with it as well, we call him Lucifer, but is he not still a God?
No.
And okay, so does it matter whether it's good or bad because you're still a God?
That's the problem.
So is it really devil's advocate?
If we keep saying bad and good,
is it really devil's advocate?
No, it isn't.
All right.
If we keep saying right and wrong, we keep screwing each other up because now we put an expectation on ourselves that is unrealistic.
Having expectations leads to disappointment.
There you go. And see, the problem is think about it. Okay, we just said it.
Oh, I think all the time.
6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons.
Mark of the beast.
That makes up an atom, right?
6.
That makes up an atom, doesn't it? So if you're trying to pull one of those away from you, what's going to happen? The atom no longer exists, and you will eventually die. So the indoctrination that you're under is trying to convince you that you're supposed to be completely right, and no wrong should be in you at all. Right. It's pulling away this negative.
But at the same time, remember, all of our sins were forgiven.
But what sins? What are you talking about?
Anything that we can think of, because remember, sin starts first in the mind.
There you go.
You don't even have to commit it. If you think it, you have already sinned.
Exactly. But the only reason why we call it that is because
that is from the Bible. The basic instructions before leaving Earth for anybody who doesn't understand.
That's their indoctrination. That's their point of indoctrination. So if we say forget what you're saying.
Oh snap! Hold on. Yeah. You operate of a different set of principles that more times than not goes against the status quo. In all fairness, flight or fight, love and hate, or any and all experiences that venture into the unknown is going to trigger your defense mechanisms. We can only determine the outcome after it's run its course. He has a point.
He does, definitely.
But at the same time, remember, everybody has the fight or flight. Now, everybody's not going to be fights or fights like some of us, or flight or flight like some of us. Because, I mean, you think about it, we are mammals. Everybody is bred differently. I mean, you think about it, you get on top of a horse. You may think that just because you tell it to go left, it's going to go left. But that motherfucker might be scared of something and run right.
But that's why the bit's in their mouth. The bit is
it's not going to change shit.
It's a bit of the point of control. That's why.
But at the same time, everybody has that. Mammals, creatures, anything with a brain, any type of consciousness, they'll do what they want to do. Because they always say
things, right?
Exactly. And I can definitely vouch on this because my ex-wife, we was riding horses up in Hawaii, and she tried to tell that horse to stop, and that bitch said "fuck you" and tried to push her off and kept on going. And I was like, I'm sorry.
But it's
I can't get that out of my head.
It's the way the world is built. We've been built to it. We've been built a way to think that we're inherently messed up.
Yeah. Yes.
If you've ever been to church, they make you feel bad. Okay, throughout all the week you've sinned. You come and lay your sins before God and be healed and be changed. No, what are you talking about? There's nothing bad about who we are. Let me give you an example. Lene and I were talking, or was it actually today and yesterday? We're talking about the 12 disciples, right?
Ooh.
So now listen. So the 12 disciples, all them cats had different attitudes, different dispositions. One of them cussed all the time. One was a drinker. One was a doubter. This dude that was supposed to be the savior was surrounded by these 12 people with some pretty dysfunctional attitude. So why would a person that come to save you surround himself with these people
and that's
with
what
so many
saying.
different
Everyone's
attitudes?
experience is going to
You
differ.
see what I'm saying? So if I'm in the middle of these guys, why would I trust these people? Because that's who they are.
We agree with you, Lawrence.
You cannot change who they are at all. Here, he didn't come to change them. He came to remind them of who they actually were and the power that they had, regardless of what they've done. You see what I'm saying? And that's for me, that's a message to all the people that I talk to. Hey, don't jump on this bandwagon that you have to rip something out of yourself in order to live. You're already living. You're already breathing. So if you try to rip this whole thing that we call negative out of you, you're just going to die because the disposition of an atom is 6 neutrons, 6 protons, 6 electrons, and negative and positive and neutral in any vehicle that you drive. If you pull that negative off, you won't be able to start the car.
You have positives, negatives, and neutrals.
There you go.
Now with it, you have the white, the black, and the gray, right?
There you go.
Don't everybody have 3 different paths that they can take in life?
That's it.
The good, the bad, or they can stay on the straight path. And I personally feel like, in all honesty, going back to the shadow work, and how you were talking about earlier with you were talking to your ancestors, I feel that my time ended up coming a lot later because altars, I learned about altars via a narcissistic ex that I had. I feel like she was on the right path. She just wasn't doing the right stuff that she was supposed to be doing. Because she has a lot of trauma and things that she needs to deal with. I hope everything's going good with her. Not wishing anything bad upon her, but karma plays its way. Tying into what I'm trying to say is the universe is going to test you. And when the universe tests you, it's because you're off the path you're supposed to be. Because everybody has a purpose. And when the universe is testing you hard and you feel like you're being punished for something, that's because the universe knows that you're being swayed off of where you're supposed to be going. So therefore, it's trying to remind you, like, okay, cool. It'll put something in your way, which is something that's probably happened already before in your past, to make sure you understood that lesson, to get you back onto the right path you're supposed to be on, to fulfill your purpose. So, I mean, we have people constantly, the woe is me, woe is me, woe is me. It's like, bitch, you ain't learning what the fuck you're supposed to be learning. Because if you think about it, if you actually listen to the things that they're saying, it's like you keep having the same issues. You keep doing the same shit. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over, hoping for a different result.
That's the move right now with a lot of people.
Yes,
and,
and I'm like, it's like they don't want to learn.
Wheel.
I'm like, yo,
complaining about the wheel.
Exactly.
It's like, how about you hop off,
get off the wheel,
right? And you.
They said like, I've been listening to Cosmic Disclosure on Gaia, and some of the Ebens and the Greys, they say that there's only so many souls that are actually planted in each realm, in each universe. And with that means that those souls have a purpose. Now, the issue is the fact that those people who don't have souls, those NPCs, those non-player characters, they're programmed to do certain things to make sure that those who have a soul are doing what they're supposed to be doing. And it makes me think, because I'm like, yo, normal is based off the majority, right?
True.
So therefore, with us, we're technically the majority. But when you have dyslexic people and you have people with autism, they're seen as different.
They are the most normal people in the world.
That's where I'm getting. And I'm like, you think about it, those motherfuckers are smart as shit. They're intelligent. Once they find what it is they enjoy doing, they master it. How many of us normal people can say we master anything? We're a jack of all trades. We never master anything. The way that I feel the world is supposed to go in order to go to the golden age, look it up. In order to get to the golden age, everybody has to work together like gears in a clock. For that means that everybody has to find what it is that they enjoy. You hear the saying all the time, if you find your passion and work in your passion, you'll never work another day in your life. So if everybody was autistic, or if everybody was like autistic or had Down syndrome or was on the spectrum, because the people on the spectrum, they're so honest and so loving to a fault. And they constantly get hurt because of how loving they are and how honest they are. And in this world, when you're honest and truthful,
it's a harsh world.
In this world where you're honest and truthful, you get hurt so bad. I'm like, if everybody found their passion and did what they loved and mastered it, how good would the world be? We wouldn't have any deceitful people trying to get whatever they want by exposing other individuals, because everybody be doing what they love. So nobody be doing anything like that. I'm like, nobody be worried about what the fuck, how much they're getting paid. Nothing along those lines. I feel like that is ultimately how we would end up getting back to a golden age. But we have the people in power who want things to be a certain way, which is crazy, because even in the Emerald Tablets, going back, which dates past before the Bible, which honestly a lot of stuff in the Emerald Tablets and the Sumerian text is quoted in the Bible, believe it or not. I'm like, there was a time where things were good, but then you had some people who were greedy and wanted things to be certain ways, like, I don't know, Caesar Borges.
down.
But yeah, I'm gonna catch you up on a lot of stuff, bro. I'm gonna catch you up on a lot of stuff.
We gotta start sending you
That
stuff.
went over the head.
Let me get your email.
Yeah, if you like I said, if you know, you know. Those people, like most, are misunderstood. They truly are. They really are misunderstood for real. And I mean, when you actually sit there and talk with them, it's ridiculous. Like I feel like people with people who are on the spectrum and people who are about to die, those are the people you need to talk to. Because people who are on the spectrum, they're so loving, they're so kind, and they speak from their heart. Yeah. And that's the same thing I try and do. And I had to kind of pull away from that because there's some fucking evil ass people in the world. I'm gonna say it. And I'm the type of person where it's like I'll punch you in the fucking face. I'm like, I'll knock your fucking teeth out. I'll break your goddamn jaw. But anyway,
but you're necessary. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you're necessary.
It's hard to care, but at the same time, be willing to kill. And not think about it again. But it's Lawrence, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. Because sometimes you gotta do what the fuck you need to do.
It's a defense mechanism.
Yes.
That's how we're
So Lawrence, remember I told you I was like, look, I'm a hood dude, but I'm not a street dude. All right. And you were like, no, you're not. I was like, nigga, you ain't seen me get nitty gritty. Some people have, and they can vouch for that. But again, I don't carry myself like that because of the fact that I want to do good. I know that I'm here to do good. But at the same time, I'm like, shit, what did Casanova say? Punch you in the face, motherfucker, I knock your teeth out. See me on the street, you already know what the fuck it is about. Like, don't play with me. But anyway,
but see, can I say this?
What's up?
It's almost like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Nah.
You see what I'm saying? No, but
I know what you mean.
The reason why I'm saying this is because we don't have to do that.
Yeah.
And the only reason why we're doing this is because we're checking and balancing ourselves because they said we have to check and balance. Mm-hmm. We don't have to check and balance. No. I am who I
want to hear some more from Donovan after what she done. Because I'm like, he been silent just listening the whole time. Bro man's just like, he's like, learning is occurring.
I observe.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm who I am, you're who you are. I learned years ago that I'm not going to change who I am because somebody's not comfortable. If you're not comfortable, that means there's something about you that you need to change. You know it, and you only know it. Yes. I'm not gonna give you a list of things that I think that you need to change. Yes. No, because I'm working on me. But if I'm abrasive, that means if I bump you the wrong way, then take a minute and think about it. Just like the way you talk, you're forward. Exactly.
Doing the shadow work.
That's it. That's the shadow work.
Yeah.
That's the shadow work.
He said spoken like a true Marine.
Exactly.
I born to fight, trained to kill, ready to die, but never will.
Right.
So a journalist or like really reflected, that's what I came across, man. It's like, in all reality, like I'll tell people, it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It just really doesn't truly matter what anyone else says, thinks, or anything. Mm-hmm. And the funny thing is, it's social media, whatever, websites, magazines, what people, right? They all say that, like, don't worry about what other people think, as they sit there concerned about what people think about what they're saying.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm like, you can see it, bro. You can visually see it. You can feel it, the energy, man.
Right,
yeah, I mean, you can feel someone who truly is like, this is them and this is how it is.
That's it. Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it's not animosity, it's not aggression, it's not negative. When I'm like, you can be with it or be without it.
That's it.
I don't, again, not negative, but I don't need you.
Exactly.
It's simple. I don't need you, bro.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? Right. For the guys, for the girls, you know what I mean? Both friendships, relationships, whatever.
This is why I fucks with you, bro.
I'm gonna be me.
Thank you.
And the thing is, right, who I am today, it's not who I was 3 years ago. It's not who I'm going to be in 3 years.
That's right.
Evolution. I'm going to go and I'm going to grow.
That's it.
And if you like it, be around. And if you don't, best of luck. I hope your life is great.
See, yo,
you know
I want
to. Too many people, right? They don't get that not negative part of that situation. Right. It's like, oh, you don't fuck with me?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Exactly.
Simmer.
Simmer. Cool you down. Here's some ice cubes. Calm the fuck down. Would you like a cup of tea?
I'll show you where the door is.
You
can leave, bro.
I'm like, if you don't want to make it to the door, I'm like, I can show you where I can bury you 6 feet down. Either way, you gonna chill.
Right. Nowadays, because that was kind of the energy back in the day. You know what I mean? Like, you've known me back when I was young. I was a little bit of a hothead. Doing a bunch of shit, had no business doing. We ain't gonna talk about that.
We ain't getting there. We got to do it on each other, all right?
But the thing is, man, like, I just peeped, bro. It's like, it's not worth the time. It's not worth the energy. No. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you get away with it, you know what I mean? It's like, if you're really working that shadow work, let's say you get away with it.
I'm gonna pause real quick.
Oh, you're doing the time. I got you.
Okay, so with that, we will continue this next week.
What up? This your boy, Danli Divine. If you like what you heard, please like, follow, subscribe, and tell anybody else about it. All I'm trying to do is just pass words of positivity, affirmations, short stories, and check out the new website I have called divinetime.blog. If you have any stories that you want to share, but you feel that you can't share them yourself, go ahead and hit me up with an email at Danli@divinetime.blog. That's DANLI, the @ symbol, divinetime.blog. And I'll be more than happy to share your story in my own voice, so that way you stay anonymous. Again, hit me up anywhere and share this as well. And also, at the end of every month, I plan to start doing a raffle. I'm going to see how this goes. I'll keep you tuned in to let you know how that's going to go about.
A voice for those who want to be heard, but seem to always get overlooked, who are hiding in the shadows, but want to step into the light. Sounds that resonate with all frequencies, that need to be heard, but are often gone, overlooked. Divine Time is a podcast that covers everything to elevate those who are hiding in the shadows, to help those who want to be seen, who need to be heard, but feel that there's always something holding them back from getting their voice out. We've got comedy, we have insightfulness, we have the truth, and we know how important the truth is these days. Stay tuned for an episode of Divine Time.